All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started. We have a few students logged on. We are expecting a few more, but I do want to remind the students that if anytime you have a question, we do have a chat feature and a Q&A feature that are available to you to ask your questions. Anytime you want clarification on anything or have a question about a specific program, make sure you put it in that chat or that Q&A, and we will pose it to the group or answer it privately. So good evening once again. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Paige, and I am an admissions counselor here in the undergraduate admissions office. And we're excited to bring you to the College of Education and Human Services Spotlight event. This will be our second one, so we're very excited to be able to host students virtually, even though I think the testament that's been throughout is that we wish we could bring you on campus, and we hope that day comes soon. Since we can't bring you to campus, we're going to bring the information to you, and we'll go ahead and get started with the Dean of the College of Education and Human Services.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Paige, for that introduction, and we are very excited to meet all of you and to try to do our best to answer your questions as you're considering Wright State. My name is Joe Kieferl, and I am the Dean of the College of Education and Human Services here at Wright State. I'm also a three-time alumni of Wright State University with my bachelor's and 2 master's degrees. I am extremely proud of what Wright State represents in this region of Ohio and throughout the state and beyond. We are an institution that really focuses on making a difference in our communities. And what I think you'll hear tonight as you meet some of our faculty, some of our students, some of our support staff and people that are here to care about you is that commitment to making sure that your experience as a Wright State Raider is the best it can possibly be. Wright State is an institution, as you might know, maybe you don't, that has been around for over 50 years. We are an institution that is constantly searching for ways to change and adapt and to be effective for what our communities need us to be. We are evolving constantly. As a faculty, we strive to make sure that we are teaching our students, our future graduates, the kinds of skills and dispositions and understandings that are going to make you successful. That's our job. And to get you to that success point, to get you to that graduation point, we do as much individualized and personal attention and support as is necessary to help get you there. So as a team player in Wright State, I feel like the people on this call are all part of a very special team of people who care about each of you. And I think that's what makes Wright State different than some of the other institutions. Some of the bigger places out there with thousands and thousands and thousands of students, it can very easily overwhelm, and you can just kind of blend in and be get a sense that you're not kind of taken care of personally. Wright State is the right size with the right kinds of supports and the right kind of caring and passion. And that's something that is a special thing. You don't get that everywhere. So I'm very excited for you to have the opportunity tonight between now and 6 o'clock or whenever you decide, because I don't think we have to be off at 6. But if you have any questions at all that are coming up in your mind or just wanted to run some ideas or thoughts past us, that's what we're here for tonight, is to really be here for you and to try to prepare you for coming to Wright State or thinking about coming to Wright State and hopefully making a commitment soon to know that Wright State is your choice for your next career and higher education goals. So thank you very much for being here. And I'm going to pass the torch off to Bethany, who is going to talk with you and give you some basic understanding about what the College of Education and Human Services is about, what kinds of programs we offer, and give you an idea of the range of opportunities that we represent. So thank you so much for being here again. And Bethany, take it away.
All right, thank you. My presentation should be loading here.
There we go. I think everybody can see that. All right. Thank you, Dean. Again, my name is Bethany DeLong, and I'm the Enrollment Management Program Director in the College of Education and Human Services. So if you choose to come to Wright State, you will interact with me kind of in several different points along your journey. You may have seen me at another admissions event. I also interact with you a little bit at orientation, and then also process program applications and help out with our Dean Student Advisory Board with our current students that are with us on campus. Get to the next slide there. So just a quick overview about the College of Education and Human Services. We're at about 1,100 undergraduate students. I always like to share that number because when you think about coming to a mid-sized institution, it can be a little overwhelming thinking about all of the other students that you're going to be around. But I like to just think about that 1,100 number. I think that really kind of echoes what the dean was talking about when he's saying we're a family. It's really easy to get to know other students. It's also very easy to get to know your faculty and other staff members. We have 11 undergraduate programs and 20 advanced degrees, including license and endorsements and other certificate programs. The majority of our services are located in Allen Hall. So if you've been on campus, Allen Hall is actually the first building. It was just Wright State at one point. And we also have one of our departments located over in the Nutter Center. So I think the dean, when he was speaking about just having that reach and having that influence, I think that very much echoes our vision. That vision very much guides our programs, it guides our culture and how we interact with our community and as well as our students. So our vision is to be an influential force in Ohio and beyond for preparing high-quality professionals who want to be change agents in society. So that's going to be the big theme that you'll see in all the programs that we offer, is that they all focus on making an impact and making a difference. So we're always very excited when we have students who are interested in our programs because we know you're passionate. You're passionate about a topic, you're passionate about a group of people, a cause. And so we want to help make that cause and that thing that you're passionate about a reality to help you make a difference. We do have 4 different departments within our college that house our different majors: teacher education, kinesiology and health, human services, and leadership studies. We'll start off with talking about our teacher preparation programs at Wright State. So on your screen there, you'll see a list of all of the programs that lead to not only a bachelor's degree, but also a teaching license. So we do offer intervention specialists. You might also know that as special education, elementary education, middle childhood education, adolescent to young adult, multi-age, as well as health and physical education. And you'll see in there also in parentheses, those are the grades that you would be licensed to teach should you pursue that program. The only slightly different thing about some of these programs would be our adolescent to young adult and our multi-age program. We work in conjunction with the College of Liberal Arts and the College of Science and Math to make sure that those programs are complete. So you would actually major in your content area. So you would major in social science education or major in math. And then you would work with us to complete those professional teacher preparation courses. But still in 4 years, you would end up with your teaching license as well as your bachelor's degree. So some of our bragging rights and things that we are very proud of and excited to share when it comes to our teacher prep programs. We have early and frequent supervised field experiences that are integrated throughout our whole program. We're not going to wait until your junior or senior year to get you out into a classroom for you to get a feel of, do I even like teaching? Do I like teaching, young children, kindergarten, grade 3, or do I prefer working with older students, whether that's middle school, high school? We also try to get you into a variety of types of schools, whether that's a rural, urban, suburban experience. So you're going to see anywhere from 200 to almost 700 contact hours in the classroom. And that range just depends on your major. We also offer a year-long student teaching placement, which is different compared to what other schools will offer. Typically, you're only in a student teaching placement for 1 semester. I like this setup a lot because you get to see the whole year. You get to be in the classroom from August to May or June. And we know, as you've experienced, that a classroom, the culture, the environment, the relationships between the teacher and the students, it's very different from the beginning to the end. So you get to be a part of that whole experience with them. We have a 96% pass rate on our state licensure exams, and we have 9 formal partner districts through our Office of Partnerships and Field Experiences. So that office really works to kind of harness those relationships. It's very mutually beneficial. We provide services to them, and then we also send our students out there as well. And our students are in classrooms beyond just those 9 partner districts as well. So there is a high need for teachers in the state of Ohio and just in the nation, but there are certain areas that do have a higher need than others. And some of those areas are especially intervention specialists or special education, anything science, math, foreign language, TESOL related. All right, so additional CEHS majors that we offer. I think sometimes people see College of Education, they stop there and think we only prepare future teachers, but there are so many other programs that we offer beyond just preparing future educators. And I like to think that these folks too in these other programs, they're still educators just in a different way. So in our kinesiology and health program, we have a major called sports science. This is really the study of human movement and understanding how the body reacts to exercise. There's a lot of different tracks that someone could take. You could do our health and fitness concentration and focus on cardiac rehab, being a personal trainer, strength and conditioning coach, or you could do our sports medicine concentration and go on to get a higher level degree and pursue something like athletic training, physical therapy, occupational therapy. The list really goes on there. We also have public health education, which it is really more so about educating the public on health issues. So very timely. I think we're going to see a lot of growth in this and need in this area here of public health education. In human services, we have a major called rehabilitation services. This is really kind of the social service realm. So if you are really wanting to help people, work with people, interact with them, connect them to services, rehabilitation services really kind of open-ended. A lot of our graduates are working with maybe people who are veterans, people who have different levels of disabilities. It's kind of reminds me of social work, but doesn't lead to that social work licensure, but really more so focused on serving others. We also have a sign language interpreting program. The side note about this program is that you do have to have an associate's degree in sign language interpreting to pursue that at Wright State. And last major is organizational leadership. This is really kind of the people side of business. And I really like to always mention this one because, again, if you have that passion of working with people, but maybe on the business side of things, there are a lot of different directions that one could go. One of our alumni, he has kind of taken this major and made it his own in that he started a nonprofit organization that focuses on providing the homeless in the community or the Columbus community homes. So he kind of integrates almost that social service side, but also business. And then some of the highlights that we're really proud of, those majors, they all require practicum and an internship, one or the other, or sometimes both. So all of our programs really value those hands-on experiences and those opportunities to make connections and relationships with mentors, future employers. They all have flexible curriculum. So if you want to add a minor or take elective classes that are of interest, really to just help prepare you for the workforce and make yourself more marketable, those are all things you can do with those programs. I typically like to use the term umbrella degrees. I think all of those majors on the previous screen would fall under that category. And what I mean by umbrella degrees is that they provide a wide range of career opportunities. There's not necessarily just one pathway of career choice. So if you're someone who knows that you are passionate about health or you're passionate about exercise, helping people, when you kind of go one of those different routes, there's a lot of different ways that you can use your degree. These are also high demand career areas. As we see the way that our country is changing and evolving, we're definitely becoming more service oriented, more health conscious, more health focused. And so we're going to continue to see those trends and those opportunities grow. And lastly, our organizational leadership program can be completed online, and it has been that way for a while now. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about student support. I'm going to start with our Educational Resource Center. If you've done a campus tour, I'm sure you've walked by it. It's on the first floor of Allen Hall. That is a smaller library that we offer where our teacher preparation students can check out materials needed for a lesson plan. It's also just a great place to study. And then there's a media production lab in the back where you can use the Ellison die cut machine, make bulletin boards or other activities for your students. I mentioned the Office of Partnerships and Field Experiences as well. And so if you are a teacher education student, you will be working with that office quite frequently to find your field placement. We also have a very active Dean Student Advisory Board within the college, and hopefully, as you guys ask some questions later, Tesla can kind of jump in and talk about her experience. But this is a student organization. It's kind of a subset of student government, but they really work to advocate for our students. And our dean is great at listening to them, connecting with them, hearing them out, and bringing their ideas to life. Jumping back up to academic advising and career consultants, I'm going to let two of our panelists talk a little bit about what those services are and what they entail.
Okay, hi everybody, welcome. My name's Linda Hockaday. I'm the Assistant Director of Academic Advising for the college. And academic advising, what we do is we're here to support you from the beginning to the end and help you understand what you need to do to successfully complete your academic goals. We help you create plans to do that. We create 4-year academic plans, and we work with you all the way through semester by semester to help you achieve those goals and adapt them as you go forward. We're also here to help you navigate the university culture. This is a new country you're coming to, and we have our own language, and we have our own customs, and we have our own practices and procedures, and you don't know what those are. And so that's why we're here, is to help you navigate all of those processes and procedures and help you understand what you need to do, when, how, where, with whom. I always like to say, if you're not sure, ask your advisor, because we're going to be the ones that are going to help guide you all the way through. We provide a wealth of resources. We're available all the time. It's very easy to come in and see us. We do hope that you'll see us on a regular basis, at least once a semester. But really our big goal is to help you be successful in whatever that means for you. And help you navigate Wright State and have a great experience while you're here. So I'll pass it off to Terry.
My name's Terry Stebbins, and I'm the career consultant, and I'm dedicated to the College of Education and Human Services. And I am here to help you be successful and find your way in terms of career. So I do a number of things in my role. I work very closely with academic advising in helping you be successful. Okay, so one of the things that I can help you with is if you're unsure about your major, I have an assessment that with you. You can make an appointment with me even this summer if you want to meet. If you're unsure at this point, you can just go to career.wright.edu to schedule an appointment with me. And I will send you all information. You can email me directly as well. And I can go ahead and do that assessment with you and try and help you determine maybe what major is a good fit for you. We also, during that assessment, we're going to talk about like what level of degree do you need to get to your career goal? Is it a bachelor's degree? Is it a graduate level degree? Do you need to go to professional school? So we kind of talk about your entire plan in terms of your career. We'll talk about salaries, things of that nature. Now, in addition to that, I help you with resumes. I can help you with cover letters, job search when you get to that point and you're ready to move into the field of work, interviewing. I'm also responsible for employer engagement and development. I do a number of things. I work on career fairs, internship fairs. I actually have a specially dedicated Educators of Tomorrow career fair for teachers. So all of that keeps me extremely busy. I bring employers to campus. Some of the employers that I brought to campus for students to meet with is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the Secret Service, Federal Reserve Bank, Premier Health, and we actually have a student that I'm going to connect with for this next academic year who works for Netflix, and that student graduated from our organization leadership program. So I'm here to help you and support you. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you need assistance in terms of career.
Thank you both. All right, so getting toward the end here, we're really excited that you're interested in Wright State and that you're interested in the College of Education and Human Services. I know it feels like a big decision, not only to kind of choose where you want to go, and what career you want to embark on, but know that if you choose College of Education and Human Services at Wright State, we are really here and really committed to supporting your success. We want to win you over. We want you to choose us, but know that we're committed to not only getting you here, but getting you across that stage and getting you to graduation. We hope that's your ultimate goal, and we're here to support you in that in whatever way we can. Oh, let's see here. I hit the wrong button. All right, so that really wraps up everything that I have to share with you about our college. It's a lot to kind of squeeze in terms of overview. But I know we have a lot of panelists here, so if anybody has any questions, I'll turn it back over to Paige unless she has anything else to add.
No, we can move forward with some questions. Thank you to all the panelists that shared there. What I'm going to do is also share a new screen here for you. This has the contact information for the admissions office as well as the College of Education and Human Services. So this will be up during the whole question portion of this presentation. So I also have all of our social media accounts on there. You can follow the College of Education and Human Services, the Wright State Undergraduate Admissions Office, as well as Wright State's general pages. And a special shout out to our YouTube page, just because since we are remote and we can't bring you all the students that we have on campus, a great way to hear some student stories and learn more about each individual program is to log on to our YouTube channel. But we'll get started with a question, and you kind of mentioned it before, but for education students, when do they start getting into the classroom and how do they get connected?
I can answer that question. For our education students, you can actually be in the classroom or doing some after-school tutoring as early as the spring of your freshman year. Technically, you could do it in the fall of your freshman year, but I think that's a little bit early because you're still trying to figure out what this thing called college is. But we could have you out doing tutoring with an after-school program in the spring. We could have you in your first field placement in the spring. And our field placements, even that very first one, these are not what many schools will call observation. You're not going to sit and watch your teacher the whole time. You're not going to just grade papers and run copies. All of our field placements are interactive. And so you are working with the students and you are working with the teacher directly. And usually by the end of the first field placement, you are team teaching with the teacher you're assigned to. So you can be out in the field as early as sophomore of your spring of your freshman year. If you feel like that's a little too early just based on your own comfort zone, we definitely recommend fall of your sophomore year. But we want you out there as soon as possible so that you can get a feel for the classroom. And as Bethany said, make sure that the grade range or the subject area you've chosen is really a good fit for what you want to do.
All right, thank you, Linda. And so I think it's time to bring in a student perspective. So the question is, how does a student find their fit at Wright State? How do they get involved in different organizations? And when should they start doing that?
Hello, my name is Tesler. I am a senior at Wright State, and that's a really good question. I commute to Wright State ever since I was a freshman. So I never got that like feel right away because I wasn't living on campus. But because I wasn't living on campus, I decided to get involved as much as possible. So honestly, I joined a sorority right away. That happens within the first or second week. And fraternities also do it within the first or second week too. And then I joined the Dean Student Advisory Board my sophomore year. And I also was a part of the Educators Rising too. So any way that I could find a fit that I could fit in, I dove right in, I did it. So don't be afraid to like go outside of your comfort zone because it is scary at first when you go into class and you don't know anybody. Don't be afraid to sit next to someone and just ask them questions because one of my best friends is someone that I just sat next to and talked to. Yeah, that's my advice. Sorry.
No, that was good. That was a great perspective. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
If a student is interested in a pre-health field, so athletic training, pre-med, pre-physical therapy, occupational therapy, can someone speak a little bit about how the student goes about following that goal?
I think that's my domain. Hi, I'm Andy Fraley. I'm from the Department of Kinesiology and Health, and I'm co-director of our sports science program. We've got two concentrations within that program, one of which is called sports medicine, which I believe Bethany mentioned earlier, and that is the route you would want to go if you are interested in going on to pursue athletic training, occupational therapy, any of those higher degree, graduate degree type of allied health professions. The sports medicine concentration is set up so that a number of the credits that go towards your overall degree are in the basic science courses that are required for entry into those types of programs. It's mainly set up towards athletic training, but with just a couple courses switched, you could make it into a perfectly viable pre-PT program or pre-OT or something along those lines.
All right. So kind of to piggyback off of that question, there's a lot of talk about like pursuing after your undergraduate. So should that be something that a student expects with some of the degree programs in your college? Or is there a way that students can complete that in 4 years?
I can answer that one. It really does depend on your career goal. Some careers do require that graduate level, that upper level coursework. Becoming a physical therapist, becoming a counselor. Some of your professional goals are going to require that higher level degree. However, all of the degrees that we offer at the bachelor's level allow you to begin working while you're pursuing those upper level goals if you want to go that route. All of our teacher licensure programs now allow you to get licensed at the end of your bachelor's degree. Organizational leadership, rehabilitation services, sports science, all of those degrees allow you entry into the workforce in your field, that broad umbrella that Bethany was talking about. So even if you do choose a career path that requires that additional degree, your bachelor's degree will allow you to start working while you're pursuing that additional degree. So I don't want you, when we talk about moving on to those graduate programs, I don't want you to assume that that's a necessity. It really is going to depend on what your personal career goal is.
If I could add just a little bit to maybe tag team with Linda, one of the benefits of being connected to our college is that we do have programs that do extend beyond the initial degree program. As Linda was indicating, there's several professions out there that are going to really give opportunities where with a master's degree and with potentially like a credential, like you become a certified counselor or a licensed counselor, that all of those parts of your career pathing become very important for you as you're trying to set forward a career, and especially in a profession. So what we have within our college really gives you quite a range in that regard. That's kind of how I ended up in my situation with an undergraduate degree in rehabilitation services, and then was able to gain two master's degrees in rehabilitation beyond that would prepared me for national certification and allowed me to have the courses necessary to be eligible for a license in the state of Ohio. So there's a lot here within the college that will prepare you in 4 or 5 years for that undergraduate degree, but then even beyond, we have a lot of people who earn a degree here and come back because their career can be advanced with an additional endorsement or an additional master's degree or even a doctoral degree. And so they come back because they were served well in their undergraduate experience. We're very proud of that. And so we're kind of a full service college that can get you a lot of steps toward that ultimate career path.
Thank you. And I can contest a little bit about those higher level degrees, as I'm in the counseling program at Wright State right now. And the faculty and staff that work in all of those programs are great. So I do think that students come back to earn that extra degree, not because they needed to get a job, but it just expands their knowledge. So we do have a student who has a question about when is a good time to connect with an advisor to talk about what their goals are and to evaluate any college credits that they previously had and how they would apply to a degree program here.
Hi, I was just typing that response to Patricia's question. You can actually meet with us anytime you'd like. All you have to do is call our office, and I tried to hit send, but it didn't send.
Well, if you just want to put your the advising's contact information in the chat, everyone in the group can see it.
Oh, you know what? I was writing down at the bottom. I think I was doing it in the wrong spot.
Okay.
There
And
we
then
go.
also I can get that contact information directly to the student afterwards.
There we go. I was putting it in the wrong spot. So all you have to do is call our office, leave us a voicemail. We are, of course, working remotely right now, but if you leave us a voicemail with your phone number and a request to set up an appointment, Darla Donahue, our administrative support coordinator, will call you back, and she'll set up an appointment with the appropriate advisor. We work with students by last name. So, you know, depending on what your last name is, she'll put you with the proper advisor. And we actually have advising available through this same system, this WebEx system. So rather than having a phone appointment, we can have a video conference, and that way we can meet, and then we can also share documents so that we can show you our websites, we can talk about course curriculum and all of those type of things. So you could call as early as tomorrow and get set up with an appointment. You're welcome.
Thank you, Linda. And I just want to remind a few of the other students that are attending that if you have any questions, you can also put that in the chat or the Q&A feature. And as we wait for more questions to come in, I have a personal question to ask each person on the panel. Is what is something unique about the College of Education and Human Services and Wright State that a student would get a unique experience here that they may not get at other universities? So whoever wants to start us off.
I can start off. From a student's perspective, something that I absolutely love about Wright State is the smaller classes. I wasn't as intimidated as I thought I was going to be. And also, each professor that I have made a relationship with in some way. So I do feel comfortable with emailing them, with calling them, with staying after class and talking to them and asking questions. So definitely just the relationship between students and faculty and staff too is really great at Wright State.
just to build on that from my own personal experience at other schools, the personal attention that you get and the sort of the level of investment in your day-to-day existence as a college student and your education is very high at Wright State. And I've not necessarily experienced that at other places, where you're just kind of left to tread water and figure your own way out. So it's really nice, I think, to have that extra guidance to figure things out.
And to add to that, definitely from the career perspective, I sit on the Ohio Career Development Association board, and I network with many other colleges in the state of Ohio, and we are one of the few universities that have a dedicated career professional in each college. So that being said, definitely we are at your service and here to help you. So, and we serve you even beyond graduation. We serve our alumni as well. So keep that in mind as you're just making your decisions.
One of the things I really like about Wright State, I've been here for almost 17 years. And when you come to Wright State, you are going to see a representation of the real world. You're going to see people from all walks of life. You're going to see people who are traditional college age. You're going to see people who are coming back to pursue a second career, or maybe as an adult coming to college for the first time, just like you are. You're going to see people of all ethnicities, races, creeds, identities. We just really are a really great representation of the real world. And I think at larger institutions, you may not see that as much in the realm that you're in. And in smaller institutions, you definitely don't see that as much. So I think that's a real benefit of Wright State University.
One of my favorite things about Wright State is just how we continually put our students first. When Tesler was talking about having those relationships with faculty and staff, I think that completely proves and shows just how much we care about our students and their experience. We completely understand that this is an investment and an adventure, an opportunity, and so we want to make sure it's a positive one and that you're getting the most out of it that you can. And so I think cost too, I think some of the services and the support that you're gaining, sometimes you don't really see that unless you're at like a small private liberal arts college and you're paying way more for it. So I think when you're looking at that cost benefit analysis of what you're getting at Wright State, I think that's huge as well.
I guess that leaves me. Yeah, everyone has brought so many great highlights about what makes this college so special and what it does so well for our students. I think for me, who's experienced the college as a student, as a faculty member, and as an administrator, what comes to mind for me is that your opportunities are waiting for you here. And I say that because not every student wants to, maybe pursue a research focus. But if you do, we have opportunities for you where you can be conducting research with faculty right alongside them, and maybe publishing and presenting at professional conferences. That can be you if that's something you're interested in. If you are someone who wants to be really hands-on and part of a service to the community, we can offer that to you in so many different ways, whether it's working in community school garden environments, or working in a substance abuse or addiction space, or helping out with community task forces and committees. There's so many opportunities that we can open doors for you when you're here at Wright State. And your faculty are so critical in this because of the relationships that we have and the investments that we have with our community partners. So really, the world is yours here at Wright State, and you can you can open up so many doors for yourself through the choices and through the kinds of activities that you decide to get involved with. As Tesler said, she came here as a commuter, and dove right in. And I don't think Tesler's looked back once. Tesler's an incredible student and has done an amazing job, just keeps going, plowing forward and is involved in so many amazing things. So that's something I think is really special, is that every student has the opportunity to create the opportunities for themselves, and we're here to support you with those.
Thank you all for providing your each own perspective of Wright State, and you really provided a good overview of everything Wright State and the College of Education and Human Services. So we did have another question, and it was, what sorts of organizations, extracurriculars are there specifically that focus on the College of Education?
I don't know if Tesler wants to talk a little bit about the Dean Student Advisory Board, but I can talk about that one. So this is, like I had mentioned, somewhat like a student government organization, but smaller just within the college. Our students apply and are selected. They get to meet with the dean once a month, where they kind of get to share things they're excited about, concerned about, or ideas they have. It's really a great leadership opportunity for these students. They help with events like this, so recruitment events. They also will do different social types of events, whether it's on campus or even sometimes out in the community as well. They're always willing to help, which is great. So if you're just looking for a great general resume builder, I would really recommend looking into the Student Advisory Board. We do reach out often, so whether it's for me or a student, we do reach out to invite you to different things. There are also some student organizations that are that correlate with your major. Those are listed on our website. I know there is definitely one for education. I think there's also one for rehab services as well. So, and also if there is something that you want to start, anyone can start a student organization. So if you see that there is a need, there's maybe not one for your specific major. If you have people who are interested, you can create that through our student involvement office.
I just quickly pulled up our website and looked at the list of student organizations that are related just to our college. We have a health and physical education club. We have what used to be called African American Teachers Association, and I think that's what we now call Educators Rising. We've got a Collegiate Middle Childhood Association. We have a chapter of the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which correlates with our elementary education program. And then for all of our teacher candidates, we have a chapter of the Kappa Delta Pi International Honor Society for Educators, which is a really great group that works with students as they're preparing to be teachers, but also provides services and supports to teachers throughout their academic or throughout their teaching career. So we have a lot of different organizations specific to the education side of things based on your major. But then as Bethany was saying, if we don't have one, volunteer and we'll hook you up with a faculty member and we'll create one for you.
So this is the end of the formal presentation. We will stick on the chat for a few more minutes. If you have questions, still feel free to ask. But if you don't have any questions at this time, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you on campus very soon. Thank you.